The Justice Department reached a plea deal with Hunter Biden in charges relating to taxes and gun possession. Here are the facts. Hunter Biden pled guilty to a misdemeanor tax charge for failing to pay taxes in 2017 and 2018 with an outstanding debt of about $200K in all, which he has paid back. Hunter Biden also admitting to a type of underlying incidents related to felony gun possession. It's a charge the prosecutors will effectively drop if he meets conditions, like avoiding drug use and forfeiting the right to own a gun again. The U.S. does recognize a fairly broad right to guns, but Hunter Biden admitted to his own drug abuse. And, as one article put it, when he filled out paperwork to buy this gun, he denied using drugs, exposing him to a potential charge of making a false statement on the document, as well as illegal gun possession once he acquired the weapon. New York Times is reporting the deal puts Hunter Biden on track to resolve this federal investigation without prison time. Sources are telling NBC the same basic outlines of that plan. The prosecutors recommend probation instead of jail. Hunter Biden is the first child of a sitting U.S. president to reach this kind of plea deal ever with the DOJ, to be in this kind of legal jeopardy during, well, his parents' presidency. Now, in an era where the DOJ's independence has been questioned from many different directions, we can also tell you that President Trump nominated the prosecutor handling this case in 2017, and the Biden administration asked him, when he was already overseeing this investigation, to stay on as kind of an abundance of caution to show that the case would go where it went. Top Republicans have demanded probes into Hunter Biden for years. Now, many say this one didn't go far enough, that the deal is a slap on the wrist. And there can be valid debates about the possible special treatment of certain defendants. We just discussed that question with a former prosecutor. But today's news, as I mentioned, though, is about the resolution reached by a Trump-era prosecutor who found criminal activity, but no grand Biden family conspiracy. The prosecutor was game to work for Trump in the tense days of 2017, used rhetoric like "Make America Safe Again." Biden kept him on to avoid any appearance of meddling. So while this probe is still ongoing, and we will continue to cover where it goes, on the political side, which can't be ignored if you're going to be factual about where this all comes from and how it's playing out, this resolution is context for today's plea. And it is very different from what so many on the right had said all of this would lead to, what they had vowed to find.
The corruption that is the Biden crime family.
17 tape recordings of phone calls between this senior Burisma executive.
The corruption with the Biden crime family runs so deep.
The laptop from hell.
We're expecting to see tens of millions of dollars exposed that went to the Biden family.
It is a crime family.
Hunter's business partner, who's also on the board of Burisma.
Depending on where you get your information, what media you consume, you may not see how vast this is. But there is a constant drumbeat and rhetoric about a Biden crime family. It's a kind of political media loop between House Republicans and conservative media. Fox News doesn't just cover Hunter Biden as a story that comes up. It treats his problems as kind of a constant obsession, about 5,000 references per year in recent history. Many Republicans argue Trump's adult children are also scrutinized a lot, including those who never took government roles, like Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr. Fair enough. And look, this is America. We can't be afraid of debates or looking at possible double standards. In our political, media, wider kind of public conversations, people are free to debate fair coverage and media and scrutiny endlessly if they want. But I will, and by the way, I should say, I have people come up to me all the time and have exactly these kind of debates, and they're okay to have. So you may hear from someone who says, well, look, now Hunter Biden pleaded out, and gosh, everyone talked about the Trump kids, so why can't we talk about this? And the answer is, of course you can. And we just heard a legal analysis of the plea. But there is a difference on display tonight as well. And when we think about these things, both things can be true, right? There can be a tax misdemeanor, and there can also be a real question or evidence of a kind of politicized, inaccurate attempt to pick and choose and make this into a Biden international crime syndicate that has not been proven out. So one difference here is the use of federal power. We were just discussing how long this Trump prosecutor held this case going. Look at the context. The original Mueller probe was over in about 2 years, 22 months. The effort to review the Mueller probe took longer, about 31 months. Both those probes had huge, complex issues, while this apparently narrow probe of one person's taxes and a gun purchase, Hunter Biden, has now stretched out over 60 months, 5 years. And the failure to find the hard evidence of a wider Biden crime conspiracy has, and this is interesting, we put this together, has reached a point where even some of the conservative narrators or amplifiers are growing publicly frustrated as the years stretched on, almost as if they did believe this would all lead to something that touches on the current president. And yet, as of this point, it hasn't really, leading to scenes like this.
You don't actually have any facts to that point. You've got some circumstantial evidence.
Where is the quid pro quo? What are whistleblowers and more bank documents now showing?
Hold on a second, Congressman. Did you just say that the whistleblower or the informant is now missing?
Did someone take him, seize him, kidnap him, put him in the witness protection program? Where is this guy?
It's rather incendiary, and we'll see whether or not you're onto something. Again, 5 years investigating. Nothing just yet.
The sound you hear is the sound of, as one man put it there, 5 years and no big, giant advancement of this theory of the case. Now, I'll tell you, before we bring in our expert here on the politics and the media of all this, it is understandable if you hear so much stuff that you say, I don't know, it's all a wash. It's all, I guess there's a million probes, there's endless probes, everybody's in. Well, that's the problem. Part of the political trick, absent the evidence, is to blur and exhaust and mix it all up for people to say, I guess they all do it. And what we've seen here is, while Mr. Hunter Biden has pled out to this misdemeanor, and that's real, and we'll give you the facts on that, the wider politics are 5 years in, even those folks on Fox and even one former Trump official you saw there, Larry Kudlow, are asking the question that some asked 5 years ago, which is, do you have anything on any of this? We now bring in Jay Komanduri, a veteran political strategist, having worked on the Obama and other campaigns. Welcome back.
It's good to be back, Ari.
I mentioned that both things can be true, and the tax and gun purchase issue is a real legal issue that has now been resolved. At the same time, we just saw the frustration on the right that there doesn't seem to be a there. Politically, what's happening?
Well, politically, the Hunter Biden quote-unquote investigations serve a very important political purpose for the GOP. It allows them, first and foremost, to deflect from Donald Trump and his problems. It creates a permission structure for Republican voters. You know, not every Republican voter is a MAGA hardcore rally goer. There is a certain amount of soft Republican support for Donald Trump that is uncomfortable with his criminality. And what they're saying is everybody does it. Everybody's a criminal. Everybody's on the take, so don't worry about it. So creating that permission structure is essential for Donald Trump and for Republicans to win elections. The other thing I would say is this has worked for Republicans in the past. This constant investigation, hoping that you turn something up. They did it for Bill Clinton. You know, you had Whitewater, you had Travelgate, you had Win Sponsor's suicide. Eventually, they did find something, which was his extramarital affair. With Obama, they tried the same thing. They did Fast and Furious, Benghazi, IRS. Obama ran a scandal-free administration. There was nothing there. They're doing the same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden also running a scandal-free administration. There is nothing there.